Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!
G'day, how you all going? It's Dry That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com and with Cranium Radio. So today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm getting to have a chat to the mountain, Tetzel from Asenblut, and also All for Metal, who are due to release The Gods of Metal, the Year of the Dragon, August 23rd through Reigning Phoenix Music. Tetzel, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure, man. I'm going to hit off with this one first, man. That cover of All for Metal, Rock You Like a Hurricane. I was literally just rocking like a fucking hurricane right as you rocked in there, man. Killer cover, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we wanted to kind of pay homage to one of the really big classics out there and give it a little twist. And I think we did that.
It came out really, really bloody well. All for Metal are dropping this second album, Gods of Metal, which is an amazing album. You guys have been going now for a couple of years and been going strength from strength. Did you foresee kind of you guys, because these are all in different bands as well, you've kind of joined for this group and you have just hit the fucking straight out of the gates. Did you foresee that when you first started, mate?
Well, like, to be honest, All for Metal was formed with the intention to really make an impact. Like, this was the plan A and plan B at the same time. So basically, when I hooked up with Antonio to get this thing rolling, basically through our first contacts, and then we were like, okay, let's see what we can do. And then when we got back then AFM Records involved and the boss of them, then it was like, okay, we have to make something really big out of this. Let's really push the envelope and aim for the stars, basically, from the very get-go. So that's why we've been on the road almost like non-stop for the past year and played a lot of shows throughout Europe, yet not Australia though. But let's see. So we played our first show was at the Metal Fest in Pilsen, which is like about 10,000 people. The second one was Rockharts, which is 25, and the third one was Wacken. Everyone knows Wacken, so that were our first shows to kick off the thing. And yeah, we've done 2 European tours now with Windrose. That was really awesome. One tour with Windrose, yeah, they just toured Australia actually.
Yeah, they did.
New Zealand. Yeah, and then with Lordi, the second tour we basically just finished. So yeah, there's a lot more coming, and we just try to get bigger.
Exactly, and that you're doing. Can you tell me a little bit when you first started working on this album now?
Yeah, basically, I mean, there was non-stop work. We just released exactly a year ago. We released Legends. So basically, when Legends was finished, or the songs for Legends were finished, the work just continued. Like for us, it was really clear that we want to put out a second record as fast as possible, and of course, obviously, as good as possible. But we never stopped in the process of basically songwriting and producing the songs. So actually, a couple of songs were the ideas were already there before Legends was finished. So of course that was the workflow. But I mean, it's kind of a breakneck speed, and we're not gonna keep it up like that because I mean, obviously we are working on more material, but it's impossible to release an album every year and not have the quality waning. So this is basically now a back catalog that we had to kind of establish so that the band is out there. Okay, well, they have 2 albums. They're a really new band, but at least there's a plethora of music to choose from. You can really see what they have done. A little bit of an evolution, I hope, is
Yes, definitely.
is something that people can recognize as well. And from now on, it's going to be maybe a little bit different from what the timing is concerned. But yeah, in general, we kind of just went through it, producing and going to the studio non-stop in between all the other stuff. Yeah.
All the touring, there's no way you could keep that breakneck speed up, as you said. Like touring, you got touring nonstop, as you said, making albums, dropping music, and then you've also got your other band as well, which you've just releasing new music as well. So Must be a crazy, crazy time for you at the moment. Can you tell me a little bit about how you guys, All for Metal, how you kind of create the music? Tell me a little bit about the songwriting process, because you and Antonio have amazing voices and the guitars are just unreal, but working it all together must be a process and quite fun as well.
Well, we are really lucky because we have a production team. Basically, we're working with one of the most well-established German producers, Hardy Krech, and he basically takes the ideas, the riffs, and makes songs out of them. So for us, the workload, if it comes to writing the song, is kind of minuscule. We just basically have to put in the time, go into the studio, and put it all together. So yeah, this is this is a luxury that we have basically.
That's
And
it.
then yeah, and then I just go, as I said, we just go to the studio, then we have the vocals, the lyrics, and we just record it. And usually everything else is basically done before that.
Yeah, I love the way the dual vocals and you kind of work off each other, you two as well. I will jump into a couple of the themes. Actually, I'll do it now. Tell us, because the Year of the Dragon kind of implies, like, if some people, it's got some kind of Asian Japanese themes to it, especially in the tracks. The Year of the Dragon, of course, the Way of the Samurai, Temple of Silence, and then your voice. That's your voice, isn't it? It goes really, really deep. It's almost like kind of my first thought was like some of those throat singers and stuff like that, dude. I was like, man, this is really, really bloody cool what you could do with your voice then.
Yeah, well, yeah. First, to answer the first part, kind of, yeah, of course. I mean, it's basically the album is Gods of Metal, Year of the Dragon, and it is the Year of the Dragon right now. And we kind of wanted to explore that because the great thing about All for Metal is that we kind of create our own fantasy world. All for Metal obviously is influenced heavily by Man of War, by Conan the Barbarian, Mad Max, all these aesthetics basically. But the cool thing is, since we keep it really into this kind of escapism, that you can do whatever you want. You can go with any mythological influences. We can go far east. We can go to the north, wherever we want, and we can just put parts of this together that we feel is really awesome stuff. That's really cool. And yeah, we decided to go to Far Eastern lands for this one. So and bring in some influences, as you said, from Chinese Asia, basically Far Eastern, Far Asian culture, China, Japan,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's where we kind of kicked off with this album. There's, if you kind of watch and read closely, there's a little bit of lore surrounding everything. So we are basically really on a trip, like going there and coming back. So and obviously this is going to be more clear probably when you are an avid watcher of the music videos, because we put out a lot of music videos, as you probably know.
Yep.
We're going to put out a couple of more for this album as well, and then the story behind everything gets a little bit more clarified.
Yeah, it's really good, those music videos. I love that platform, YouTube, where you can kind of reach your fans with these music videos, because there's not very, I don't know what it's like over there in Europe, but there's not many music fucking channel stations anymore where you can do that. Whereas YouTube,
No.
you can create these quality tracks and put them out there and reach your fans directly, and then they can go along and like and subscribe and check it out. And it makes your music a lot more accessible as well.
Yeah, it's true, but on the other hand, it's kind of a shame as well, as you just said. There used to be obviously Viva MTV, a couple of music TV stations that put out stuff and people, in my opinion. But nowadays, there's basically only YouTube. Well, of course, you reach a huge audience, a huge target audience, but well, it's a huge investment for what it is, to be honest.
It's a massive investment, what it is, and I've been banging on about this the last couple of weeks, and I'm kind of started with Tearside interview I've done. We were talking about that. It's great that people can have this instant access to music, but it kind of makes it like albums. I love whole albums. For me, when I got this album, Gods of Metal, it was so much fun to jump into. And like you mentioned, escapism, jumping into this album and kind of going on this journey, and I loved it with the Legends album as well. You can kind of go on a journey with the band, and like you said, you kind of do have this story involved in it, and you kind of, yeah, you can grab these singles that you drop and you can take them at bite-sized bits, but to get the most out of it, I reckon listen to the whole album. You have that nice intro in there with the cry for help at the start of this album, and you have that the journey will not end with the outro, and it kind of sets the stage for the whole album going through. And you guys obviously put some thought into that as well. Like, I love that bands still do that, work for whole albums, not just dropping singles all the time.
Yeah, the problem, basically what happens. I mean, I'm completely with you. I like the album as a piece of art. Like, if you see music obviously as an art form, it's like a painting. You know, when you look at the whole album, you have the whole painting, and if you just single out one song, it's maybe a beautiful detail of this painting, but it's not the whole picture. So yeah, but on the other hand, I also get how music consumption has changed. And I'm usually not the guy to be like, oh no, this is all bad and it was better before. I'm like the kind of guy, okay, well, this is how it is. So every part of the picture has to kind of tell a story in itself. Yeah. And I can totally get that. People listen to the album. Hopefully they at least listen through the album a couple of times, and then they single out a couple of songs that they really like and put them on repeat.
Well, isn't that good when you listen to the whole albums, Tetzel? Like, you have the deep cuts, like some people, like I was listening to this album, like, for some reason I was drawn to Path of the Brave. I've only had like a few days to digest the album, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I'm sure next week I'm going to gravitate towards another one, but that's kind of the joy of listening to albums. Tell us a little bit about that track, just because I kept coming back to it.
Oh yeah, Path of the Brave is actually was the first track that was finished for the album and kind of led us into going onto this journey, because it had kind of this vibe and was like, okay, well, there's a little bit of an Asian theme going on. Maybe we explore that in a little bit more detail and use it kind of as an idea, as basically the stem for everything else. And this is kind of what led us to it. And yeah, it's a beautiful piece. It's a ballad. It's a full ballad, and definitely one where Antonio can really shine. I mean, he's, as you just said, he's an amazing vocalist, amazing singer, and yeah, it's just beautiful. I'm looking forward to shooting the music video. We are actually right now in the process of planning 2 more music videos, and we're going to shoot that in 2 weeks, and it's going to be out pretty soon. So look forward to that. Path of the Brave coming your way.
Yeah, talking of music videos, also the latest single as well features Laura from Burning Witches, and of course Tim Kanoa Hansen providing an amazing guitar solo from Induction as well, rocking on that. Tell us all about the track and them two dropping in.
Yeah. Valkyries in the Sky, same thing. A really big song. Yeah, you kind of singled out 2 songs where I take a little bit of a step back, which is totally fine with me because we already have 2 lead vocals, and then you have a guest's vocals and a guest guitarist. So of course someone has to take a step back, which is absolutely cool. So yeah, Valkyries in the Sky, Laura Goldemont. I mean, this woman has balls, you know, and it's fucking awesome. And I love Burning Witches. And I love her performance, so I'm really happy that we were able to get this collaboration going. Yeah, and she was a pleasure to work with, and I'm looking forward to seeing her and Burning Witches on the road. Definitely, absolutely crazy. Tim, obviously, he was not only part of the music video and the solo, wrote the solo, but he also was a stand-in guitarist for us on the first part of the Lordi tour. Basically, the first 5 weeks he was on tour with us. Standing in for Ursula because she had obligations with her day job, basically. And he was amazing. I mean, he's not only a good technical guitarist. I think there's a lot of those out there, to be honest, especially in heavy metal. There's a lot of instrumentalists, but he's kind of the whole package. He's a visionary in himself. He's a songwriter. He's an artist. He's a performer. And obviously he's great at playing his instrument. So it was a pleasure to work with him. Definitely check out Induction as well. awesome band, and yeah, they kick ass.
Yeah, Induction are unreal. That last album they dropped was an absolute fucking ripper, dude. Tell us about the title track, Gods of Metal, because that one you do get to use your
Yeah,
chops on that one, bro.
Yeah, Gods of Metal. I mean, it's been out for quite a while, so you can watch
Yeah.
the video, you can listen to it. It's a hymn. It's definitely meant to be one of those chest pumping, fist thumping, whatever metal hymns, going back to kind of the Manowar era of good old powerful metal, and I just love it. I mean, it's great. It's over the top, and it's just perfectly setting the stage for everything that's awful metal.
Yeah. And you were talking about art, like taking a track here, and it's like it's only one part of the art. Also, got to mention the physicals are looking so bloody good. The vinyls look really good. Even the box sets. I was having a look at the little statues of you and Antonio, and I'm like, they look so fucking cool. And it's really important for fans to get along and support bands because it's a huge part of what it is these days. You really, really need that support.
Yeah, 100%. I've been telling people, and I mean, we are trying to reach out to our fans and the people that like our music as much as possible through our social medias and everything. So basically, I mean, the pre-order process is the most important part for an album nowadays, because like this we can see, okay, what's going to be the budget, what's going to be for the next album basically in store for us, and do people like what we do? And obviously we try to make the physical stuff as appealing as possible and special as well. I mean, it was kind of a really early idea to have these two different statues so that people can have like an Antonio and Tetzel at home. And I think it's really cute, and it's really funny, and it's also kind of awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
it's something kind of special. Not everyone has that. It's always a struggle because in Germany, I don't know how things are abroad, but in Germany you kind of have pretty strict regulations on what you can put in a box set and stuff like that. So because the music basically has to be the biggest part of it, and yeah, there's a lot of trinkets and stuff that you can put in box sets that I kind of feel are boring, to be honest. But we wanted to have something at least special, maybe not very useful, but
well,
really cool.
well, that's it. You chuck them. I've got little statues and trinkets all over the bloody place and things. Not trinkets, but little statues like the pop vinyls. And I was just thinking they would
Oh
look
yeah.
absolutely unreal on the collection with everything else I've got there. They would fit too. And it seems like Reigning Phoenix Music, even though they're still fairly new, they've been really good at pushing the physical product, which for me is a huge part of the scene. And I do bang on it so much on this podcast. It's great to get those streams, but it's also like you're basically working how many hours to give away a music for nothing. You give away this music for nothing that's come from the heart that you've worked so fucking hard at, and hoping that people support you on the back end. And I really feel the music model needs to change. Yes, it's great to have our music so accessible and people to listen to it, but I feel like the state of the music scene, the model really needs to change, because you're required to be a touring band all the fucking time just to you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's true, but I I love it. To be honest, yeah, it's something that has kind of evolved. I mean, remember 20 years ago, a little bit more
Yeah.
than 20 years ago, with Napster and all the controversy, and when Metallica kind of were fighting against it. But I mean, Lars Ulrich was not fighting for himself. Like, obviously he was, but he was not just fighting for himself. He was basically fighting for everyone, because there was no reimbursement for anyone.
Yeah.
And even back then, I was like, okay, well, if it is like that now, people download music. Well, okay, let them do it, let them hear it, because it's as a piece of art. I think it's more important to be witnessed by people. I mean, yeah, you have to be touring, but for me personally, this is the reason why I'm a musician. I want to be on stage. I don't want to put out records. I mean, of course I want to put out records because
Yeah.
I want to have the testimony of my music, of my art, that everybody can grab and just have fun with. But for me, it's like the life experience. This is what music is about. I want to be on stage. I want to vibe with the people. I want to have fun. I want to perform. And this is what I love about, let's call it the job, being on stage. Yeah, for I don't have any problem with that. So if there's a million people out there that just listen to the streams and then they come to the concert and maybe even grab a shirt, whatever, then I'm super happy.
Yeah, that's where it's
So,
at. Everyone, remember to go grab the shirts and support the concerts. That's what I'm about too. If you're going to listen to a stream, at least get along to the concerts, buy a shirt, and support the band that way. And yeah, it is good to get your music out there. You guys have been flat out. You just finished a concert, didn't you? You played a festival just the other few days ago. Yeah.
yes, this Sunday, yeah, a couple of days ago, in Lithuania, which
Yep.
is a very small country in northeastern Europe, not Germany,
Yep.
sorry, northeastern Europe, and yeah, it was really beautiful. A small, not small, kind of 3,000 people. Kilkim Jaibu, it's called, and it was more of an extreme metal festival, and we kind of were the pussy metal band on that one, which was funny because the people loved it. I mean, we were the best-selling band on merchandise.
I don't think anyone's going to come up and say that to you, Tetzel, though.
Oh, no, it's fine. There were bands like there were Insiferum, there were Necrophobic, and Rotting Christ, and a lot of black and death metal bands all around. And then there was like awful metal. I mean, it's very different, but we put on a show and people loved it, so it was really great.
Yeah, it looked absolutely unreal. Did you play the Valkyries and the Gods track live there?
We didn't play Valkyries in the Sky, but we played Gods of Metal. Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
we played Gods of Metal. We played Year of the Dragon, Way of the Samurai. So we played a couple of new songs already.
Well, it would be
Yeah.
fun to start playing a couple of tracks off of this album live, yeah, and the crowd would be just taking it in for sure because those tracks
Oh
are
yeah.
unreal, dude.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm looking forward. I don't know if we're ever going to play it live, but for me, one of the highlights I want to point out at this point is Who Wants to Live Forever,
Yes.
because it's very different,
Yes.
and I yeah, kind of really love it. It was one of the pretty late tracks that we wrote for the album that was finished, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And it's like completely different. It's completely different than what you might think about when you hear the title. And this is kind of my teaser to listen to it once it's out.
It's a really nice track. It's kind of the last musical number as we lead into the outro there. It is a really cracking album. I haven't got a great deal of time left, but the new stuff from Asenblut is absolutely unreal. Tell us about that, dude. I'm really enjoying that as well.
Yeah, so we've been really slow. Asenblut is, in comparison to Awful Metal, really slow in putting out records. We are around for almost 17 years, and this is only our 5th full-length album.
Yep.
But yeah, we kind of try to pick up the pace there as well. But I mean, the comparison is always there, and we kind of took it in and made it our own. We are kind of the German Amon Amarth, which is totally fine because Amon Amarth fucking kick ass. So yeah. The album is called Entfesselt, which is unchained, you could say. Yeah, I think good translation for that. And yeah, the vocals and the lyrics are all in German. But if you like Amon Amarth, you're gonna have a good time with the new album. It's coming out on the 2nd of August. We're gonna play our show at Wacken Festival and then basically release it right there.
Wow.
So perfect scenery, perfect scenario for us. We also have a box set. It's very limited. It has like a leather forearm protector thing, handmade thing, which is really cool. And of course, all the good stuff, the vinyl, the CD, and everything. I'm really happy with the artwork. We've been working for 3 records now with Nick Greenwood, who's from UK, an artist. He's doing absolutely amazing stuff, and I'm just super happy. And now we are working on also getting the word out there, and I'm really happy that people also take a look at that when they're talking about awful metal, and maybe they enjoy something different. I mean, it's melodic death metal. It's something entirely different than awful metal, which is kind of the fun for me as well.
Yeah.
Because I have this comparison, like this one band where there's so much traction and so much energy from a lot of people that also surround it. And on the other hand, there's my baby, where I put in my energy and basically do everything. And just try to kind of reach some new people every now and then.
it's an amazing project, and creatively it'd be good for you as a musician, a songwriter, to be able to have these two different projects to work with. Now it'd probably inspire you from one to the other as well. Go, man, this is for that one, and then coming back and no, I'm gonna use this for All for Metal, and this is definitely for Asenblut. Yeah,
I mean, especially regarding the live performance, we've always been with Asenblut. We've been on the road for quite some time, as I just said, and we've always been a good live band, I would say.
Yeah.
But to have people now like Antonio, who's coming basically from a theater and a musical background, to have someone with like him and work with him and work on the live performance of the act, it's very different, and it's a very professional and different approach, and you kind of take a look at what you actually are able to do. Because just for an example, really basic stuff, you see bands headbanging on stage, but look at the bands when they are able to do like a synchronized headbanging. It looks so amazing. It's this tiny little thing. It's just a very minor thing, and if you think about it. But then again, the impact is so huge. You know, you have a killer riff coming on. You have thundering drums, and everybody's doing the same thing on stage, and it just looks so good. And then you take it to your musicians, and you're like, let's do it. And then you have to put work in to make it happen. Yep. It's a lot of fucking work. And then you start to realize, well, okay, it ain't that easy. And this is why not so many bands put on a great show nowadays. And I mean, this is also part of the evolution. Since you have the accessibility of the music through all the platforms, YouTube, Spotify, whatever, the live show has to be distinct. It has to set itself apart from just being good music, because everyone makes good music. Everyone who puts out records has good sound, and they write good songs, and maybe you're not always the target audience for everything, but everyone is able to make good music. But then again, on the stage, it kind of, I feel there's the separation, there's the divide. You know, you have the bands that are just playing, and you have the bands that put on a show.
Yep. Damn straight. And All for Metal definitely put on a show. So if you get the chance to catch these guys live at all in your country, anywhere, do not fucking miss out. And definitely do not miss out on the latest album, Gods of Metal, Year of the Dragon, does drop August 23rd through Reigning Phoenix Music. Don't forget to get the box sets and the physicals. Tetzel, do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
Well, once again, thanks for having us. Thanks for the interest in All for Metal and in our music. And we'd love to see you guys on tour, hopefully rather sooner than later. And yeah, see you.
Cheers, everybody. Grab some All for Metal, chuck it in the stereos, crank it up really bloody loud. The neighbours are going to want to hear it. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, man.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.